Hello viewers, welcome to Nltv, Sukmanulaga Awas. This is Mnatula and I'm here for an exclusive interview with the three winners of Mr Mokokchung 2022. And we are here to talk about men's mental health, a very much ignored topic. So when we talk about men's mental health, like I said, it's not very much talked about. And men are less likely to talk about their stressful life, about their depression, about substance or any abuse cases. And if we do a research on it, traditional norms, cultural gender roles, societal expectations could be some of the factors why men are reluctant to speak. So today we are here to talk about it from the three men themselves on what they think about what mental health is and especially how important it is for men to talk about mental health. So to begin with, we have Mr. Nuchitlong, the winner of Mr. Mokokchung 2022. Hi Nuchit.
Hi.
Thank you for joining in. So, have you ever heard of mental health before?
Yes, I did.
Especially men's mental health?
Yeah, but people don't usually talk about it that much, actually.
So, could you kindly tell our viewers on what men's mental health is and how important it is to give importance on it?
Well, of course, sure. As we all know, men's mental health is midway into finishing. I would like to discuss about something that we usually don't talk about that much. Men and depression. You see, a good mental health is as important as oxygen. We need it to survive. And I know many reasons why men usually don't reveal or confront people about their mental health issues. I know one too many who have been diagnosed with mental health issues, but they are afraid and they do nothing about it because they think admitting to it makes them feel weak. And the stigma of men are slowly killing men. The stigma that says the ones who admit to depression are weakness. So, for instance, there is this saying about women as well that goes like the gender stereotypes about women, the idea that they should behave and dress in a certain way, and which could be devastating to them as well. So what's important here is I want you guys and the viewers to know as well that when we expect expectations and stereotypes from men as well, it can damage them as well. Very importantly, it can damage them in a huge scale. And you might ask, stereotypes? Certainly, yes, it is actually. It gives them, the will not to speak out as well. There are many undiagnosed men with mental health issues. Another thing is, these days, men are being gagged and bounced and instructed to man up instead of, speaking out. So how do we give them a voice? And make sure that voice is respected as well. You see, in our society, the norms that we have is men are expected to be the breadbringers, the breadwinners, the bold ones, the strong, the one in control. I mean, technically, it's not bad, but still, these are the small things that makes them not to speak out. You see, because men don't usually go to pharmacies and buy antidepressant pills. They're scared people would judge them. They don't go to therapists because they don't want to share their problems with a stranger. And it's pretty hard for them. And as we know it, when they do that, the people around them, they don't realize what's going with them and they don't see the signs. And we all know men don't usually show us the signs of depression. Like it would be loneliness, hopelessness. Rather, they assert to aggressive and anger. And it's very easy for doctors and their loved ones to miss out those signals that something is wrong with them. And when they miss out on that, there are consequences. Consequences such as self-medication, drugs, alcohol, worst case scenario, suicides. suicides, by studies in the previous years, showed that 75% of the suicides were done by young men below the age of 50. So what I want to let the viewers out there know today is that depression is not a simple mental health issue. It's a very serious mental health issue. It can cause a lot of damage to a lot of people. And no matter who you are or what gender you might be, it will hinder us and it will cause problems. So my message is on this mental health for men is, I would say, be there for them. Let them know that they are not alone. And to the viewers, if you know anyone out there who's been struggling or who has gone through problems, let them know that they're not alone. Let them know that we are there for them, by making yourself present there and be patient enough. And also make sure to let them know that help is there and they can reach out for help. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, Nltv, for such a powerful and insightful message to all our viewers. Let's go to Mr. Nathan Iyer, the first runner-up of Mr. Mokokchung 2022. Nathan, thank you so much for joining in.
It's my pleasure.
Well, the same question to you too. Well, have you ever heard of men's mental health before?
Yes, of course. It's a very serious and crucial issue which is relevant not only in our society, but it's relevant all across the entire globe. Yeah.
It is. So could you also tell our viewers on how important it is to spread awareness on men's mental health?
Well, thank you so much for the time. Well, I would like to start off by highlighting the fact that a good and sound mind is crucial for healthy living. There are so many reasons as to why men are not able to speak up about this issue, such as depression. I know there are so many men diagnosed with mental illnesses, but they're not able to speak up about it. You know why? Because of the stigma surrounding them. I want to say that there is a sort of a stigma in our society when it comes to man's mental well-being. Right from childhood, men are being taught never to cry, never to show their emotions, to always remain strong. Right? That's how men are being brought up. But I'm here today to tell you all that mental illnesses knows no gender. It can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. According to a survey conducted by the US, 76% of suicides are committed by men. That's huge, right? And men are less likely to seek out for any psychological therapies and treatments than women. I'm telling you all today to stop telling men to man up. Men suffer too. You know what? Men have emotions. Men get abused. Men get anxieties. And most importantly, men suffer too. Let's support men. Let's encourage men. Never belittle men, because men suffer too, like I've said. And lastly, to all my men folks out there, it's high time for all of you to speak up about this issue, because I want to ask you this: if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Nathan, for boldly telling the world that mental health sees no gender. Moving on to Mr. Sashikam Longkumer, the second runner-up of Mr. Mokokchung 2022. The same question to you. My first question.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of men's mental health before?
Yes, of course I do. But what really breaks my heart is that when we hear this word, the society consider this as a taboo or is a sin. So that's it.
Yeah, it is ignored much. I agree to that. Well, could you tell our viewers on your perspective on what men's mental health is and how important it is to address it?
Okay, of course, this is very much important topic, and I think it needs to be addressed. Well, when we hear the word man, the first thing or the first picture that clicked to our mind is someone who is strong, who is independent, who is courageous, and who is a warrior. Of course, it is true to an extent. Society has labeled man in such a way that they are the bread earner of the family. They are strong. They are full of strength. Yes, it is true. But what we need to understand is that men, they do have emotion and they do have feeling. If we look through the patches of world history and even in today's context, like the suicide case of man is twice higher than the rate of female. And why it is that so? Because, see, society has labeled men in such a way to be strong and to never show their emotions, because they are the image of strength, they are the tower of strength. There's a famous saying which goes like, men don't cry. Is that true?
No, not at all.
That's the reason why this is happening. We're living in a very competitive world, like, and at this juncture of life, we sometimes fail to live up to our expectation, and we fail to live, up to the expectation of the society as well. And this is where mental health hit us. This is where depression, anxiety, and panic attack us. Today, I want to address something because or three of us coming from a pageant field, when we join a pageant, the society, they easily judge us because, there's a stigma that when a man join for pageant, like, this pageant is not meant for a man, right? That's where, and when we win, we celebrate less and we care of the society more. And that's where even we can't even enjoy the success. So it is high time for us to appreciate one another, to uplift one another, most importantly, to empower one another, so that the society that we live in, it will be a healthy one, where negativity will not grow, but the positivity will impact us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sashi. That was very bold to admit it. And also, thank you for telling the people on how important it is not to judge men for having a mental issue. Well, viewers, that was it. We have heard from the men themselves, talking boldly and spreading awareness about men's mental health by sharing their perspective. Let's mark this month as a time to encourage conversations, to promote understanding, and also to bring the men, to encourage them to speak for the help that they seek. Thank you to the three winners of Mr Mokokchung 2022 for boldly sharing your take, men's mental health through your eyes. I hope this create awareness, this create a knowledge in the hearts of people on how important it is to take care of men's mental health also, because mental health sees no gender. Thank you.